Hey there, guys. We're here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite movies of 2020. 2020 was a very difficult year to adjust in, very, very hard. But we still had some amazing movies, some amazing performances, and I definitely want to talk about my top 10 favorites, and that's what we're going to do here today. But of course, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, notification button, put a comment down there. Let me know what I need to do for these next few videos. But I'm going to go from 10 to my number one, and it was more difficult to make this list than I thought. There were some that I still need to see, but technically they're a 2021 release date. Um, but they're in the race for 2020 Oscars. So it's it's kind of confusing, but I really think there was only one movie that I think I needed to watch that came out Christmas Day that I think I would have put on here. I'm not sure, but because I didn't watch it, I can't put that on there. But it's the end of the year. One of my top 10 favorites that I watched that I love, and this is it. Number 10, The Boys in the Band. It was this Netflix movie that dropped back in September. It had James Parsons, and it was this movie based off of a play, and it was produced by Ryan Murphy, who also a couple months later directed a another movie based off of a play that was called The Prom. But The Boys in the Band was this movie about this group of guys, a group of gay guys coming to one of their friends' birthday parties, and it just gets real. It was real fun at first, but then it got intense, and they started playing a phone game, and you could tell this was based off of a play because the only setting in this movie was Jim Parsons' apartment. And this movie was very. It was the same guys who were in the play, and so they play their same characters, and they're all playing gay guys, and they're all gay in real life. So the way they made this movie was pretty cool. It got some criticism because it felt too much of like a play, but you're always going to have that problem because if you think about it, every movie that's based off of a play turning into a movie is always going to be that factor. Same thing happened with Moraine's Black Bottom. So there was just some things that you just can't help. I love Jim Parsons' performance. I thought I forgot his last name, but Zachary Quinto. I'm not sure, but he was electric as well. I mean, Zachary and Jim were just forces, just unbelievable. The Andrew Rannell was great. Everything about this movie was tremendous. I loved it. I loved that phone game scene. It was just the second half of that movie. That first half of that movie is just it's fun, it's light, it's funny. But then you get that second half, you start playing that phone game that they play. You have to call someone uh, to uh, to tell them you always loved them. And man, it got intense and that got crazy and kind of ruined the party. And it really was insane. And at first, I didn't know what to think about the movie walking into it, but after I watched it, I was in love. It was absolutely amazing. This is a type of movie that I think deserves a SAG nomination for Best Ensemble. I haven't heard anybody talk about it since its release, so I don't know if it will. I would love it, but I wouldn't hold my breath for it. But that's my number 10. Number 9 is Wolfwalkers, Apple TV. Um, sorry, the Apple TV animation movie. I just talked about Wolfwalkers on my review of it the other day, and I absolutely loved this movie. This movie was very unique and different, and the animation was very, very different than what it is these days, but I love the way they did it. They did it perfectly, and everything about this movie was tremendous. I laughed. You'll get emotional too, and this movie was absolutely breathtaking with not just the animation, but just the story. The story really is some in a way heartbreaking. It's really funny. It's really light, but there are some scenes that can just get like really into you, and I love that because it keeps it light, but it really shows, especially that ending, that last 30 minutes really shows that, man, a mood can change, a tone can change just like that, and it really is an unbelievable movie. Soul 100% is going to win Best Animated Movie, but if anything happens, anything at all, Wolf Walkers is the one to steal it from Soul. That's just what's going to happen. But leading into that, let's go on my number 8, which is Soul. Soul is the best animated movie of the year, the one I've seen in years. This can be and will be one of the best of the decade, for sure, hands down. Absolutely loved it. Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, Questlove, everybody about this movie was completely perfect. And I love this movie so much because I haven't laughed in a Pixar movie so hard in a long time. Don't get me wrong, Toy Story 4 is just masterpiece. Toy Story 3 masterpiece. But I walked in this movie thinking it was going to be really emotional because I kept hearing all these things. I was reading all these articles, listening to all these podcasts, these videos, and everyone was saying how emotional this movie is going to be, but there was like one or two scenes and they barely were emotional. This movie was so freaking funny. I haven't laughed like this animated movie in a long time. And um I mean, don't get me wrong. I talked about The Croods too. I laughed so hard. That was one of the best as well. But Soul is up there. Soul really is a masterpiece. I think what's different than Soul to The Croods 2 is, I mean, it's really hard to compare because I loved both of them, but Croods 2 is not on my top 10. It's definitely on one of those that could have made it, but Soul outwins this. And it barely did though because Croods 2 was amazing, but no, Soul takes this for sure. Um, Number 7, The Prom. The Prom was directed by Ryan Murphy, who just finished producing the movie The Boys in the Band. Sorry, and I mean you got James Corden, Meryl Streep, Nicole Kidman, Andrew Ronaldo, Keegan Michael Key. Absolutely masterpiece of a movie. This is going to win Best Musical or Comedy at Golden Globes. This will win it, hands down. I think if you want to look out for the other nominations, look at On the Rocks, Palm Springs, look at Borat 2. But those are great movies. I've seen all three of those movies, but they're great. But The Prom is just tremendous. The musical numbers, the choreography, the casting, the acting, everything about this was amazing. This was based off of a play as well. But this was a full out movie. This wasn't like Murray's Left Bottom or The Boys in the Band, where it's like one or two settings. This is like a full out kind of everywhere type movie, and it was tremendously a masterpiece. I love this movie. A lot of people uh, say that this is an okay movie. People are criticizing it, but I love this movie. I thought this was the best. The just absolutely the best. I absolutely love this movie. I actually wanted to put this more on my list higher, but the competition and everything about these movies are just so great, so powerful, so meaningful. I had to put it on number 7. Number 6, News of the World. I just saw this Christmas Day with my girlfriend. I said on the review, and man, this movie was holy crap. Tom Hanks, man, just crushes it like always. Paul Greengrass's direction just crushes it. I absolutely hate to say it, but Tom Hanks won't get nominated for Best Actor. I think if anybody gets snubbed, it's him. But his acting was tremendous, like always. There's a scene in there where really just I was just sitting there watching it, and it was like one of the only gunplay scenes in the movie. And I was like, this really is what this movie needed, because it's not a gunslinger type movie, but when you put in one or two scenes of gunplay in a western that's not really gunslinger, it's more of a journey movie. You gotta make it a great gunplay scene, and it really was. This isn't your like bloody type, like graphic gunplay scene. It was slow, methodical, and it was great, and it worked, and it was perfect. Number five, Marines Black Bottom. Chadwick Boseman, Viola Davis, man, they crushed it. Chad Boseman's last performance in this movie was just riveting, and everything about this was just perfection, 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 perfection. This was absolutely tremendous. This was one of the best performances I've seen of the year. He will win Best Actor, hands down. Will. I really think he should, because holy crap! Okay, this was amazing. And man, I just love this movie because just the style of it, the way Chadwick walked, the way he talked, the way he sang, the way he just moved around. He was in this. He was into this character, and he did it with passion, and he really just knocked it out of the park. And Viola Davis did the same thing. At the very end, they showed a picture of Muraney, and she looked just like Muraney, and it scared the crap out of me. Um, but I mean, just that's my number five, because I was just that right there was everything we wanted, and we got more. And I cannot wait for the third adaptation of this guy's play turning into a movie. I wonder what they're going to pick, and I know we won't see it probably till about 2 or 3 years. But whatever it is, you need to sign Val Davis up again. Get Denzel Washington back on the screen. He was a producer for this movie, but Fences was better than this one. But this is still a tremendous movie. Number four, Tenet. This is the first movie I saw in theaters when after COVID started. I saw this probably about like a week after it came out, and man, this was just tremendous. Yes, it got criticism for the sound. Yes, I think it deserves criticism, but it's a masterpiece. It really is nothing but a masterpiece. Christopher Nolan was just freaking phenomenal. Not his best directing, but he did direct the crap out of it. I think he went over the top with a lot of stuff, but John David Washington, Robert Pattinson's performance in this movie was top notch. Uh, this is the movie where I love it. I think it's a masterpiece about all around. But when it comes to the Academy, no picture, no director, no actor, no supporting actor, no screenplay, no nothing. It's going to be technical. This is all going to be technical awards. But even though they're not going to be nominated for all this big stuff, it's still a masterpiece. It's still tremendous, and I still love it. Number three, Da 5 Bloods. People are saying, take this off your list, take this off your list, but I'm not taking this off my list. This right here will be nominated. I said the same thing about Ford versus Ferrari when everyone took it off their list, but I kept it on there, and guess what? It was nominated, and that's the comparison I'm going to make until the Oscars, because 100% this will be nominated. I really believe that. Now, it's not winning at all, but this movie is absolutely amazing. Delroy Lindo acted his butt off in the very beginning of the year. This was the first big performance I saw of the year, and I thought he's going to win it. He's going to win it. But the best actor category this year is stacked hard, and I really think the five that I've chose, or at least the four so far, will be nominated, and Delroy Lindo is one of them. Leading into my number two is the second person for Best Actor, and that is Mank. Gary Oldman acted his butt off. Amanda Seyfried is my number one for Best Supporting Actress right now. David Fincher is my number one for Best Director right now. And this is my number three for Best Picture. I think this movie dropped down because of the reception No Man Land is getting, and the Trial of Chicago 7. Everything about that. But Mank, I want to say one thing about Da 5 Bloods before I go into Mank. The Five Bloods direction by Spike Lee was tremendous, but don't expect him to win best director. Now going back to Mank, because David Fincher's direction is too top notch for anybody. If anybody can come close to taking that Oscar away from Fincher, it's Chloe Zhao for No Man Land. But even with that, it's still gonna be very hard for her to take that because he truly this is his best directed movie. And this might not be his best movie, but his best directed movie. And everything about this movie was freaking tremendous. The acting, the casting, the because Mank is it feels and looks like it was filmed in the 40s. It was set in the 40s because it was, and it absolutely was tremendous and amazing, and I applaud it. My number one, of course, is The Trial of Chicago 7, my favorite movie of all year. I haven't seen any movie like this before. I think this movie was tremendous, and I think this will definitely is up there for Best Picture. It really is. It's really going to come down to that No Man Land or Mank. But I put down Mank just a little because Trash Chicago 7 and No Man Land are just hitting heads hard. Because I think Mank is going down a little bit because a little bit of the criticism. Because it's not a crowd pleaser. It really isn't. But Trash Chicago 7 is winning everybody's hearts and souls and everything. But that doesn't mean anything. Mank can still win this, but my favorite movie all year is Trash Chicago 7. I absolutely loved it. I freaking cheered at the end. I stood up and applauded from my bedroom. It was absolutely amazing. I loved it. The acting, Sacha Baron Cohen, Jeremy Strong, Michael Keaton, just absolutely amazing. Mark Rylance, I can Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I can say 10 more guys' names because all of them were tremendous. No matter what happens at Oscars, Golden Globes, no matter what, it's winning SAG for at the SAG Awards. It's going to win Best Ensemble. This is the only movie to win Best Ensemble because, I mean, when you have a movie like this, it's going to win it no matter what. That is my top 10 movies of the year. Sorry if I rushed it a little bit, but I'm just going to do a quick, fast little recap. Number 10, Boys in the Band. Number 9, Wolfwalkers. 8, Soul. 7, Prom. 6, News of the World. 5, Morane's Black Bottom. 4, Tenet. 3, The Five Bloods. 2, Mank. 1, Charles Chicago 7. And if you want to find out how to watch all 10 of these, Charles Chicago 7 is on Netflix. Mank is on Netflix. The Five Bloods is on Netflix. Morane's Black Bottom's on Netflix. The Promise on Netflix. The Boys in the Band's on Netflix. Wolfwalkers on Apple TV. Soul is on Disney Plus. Tenet, News of the World were theater releases. Tenet is already on DVD, but I think they're still playing it in a couple theaters. And News of the World just got into theaters. That's my top 10 movies of the year. These next couple of days, look out for a video of all the Critics' Choice, these Critic Awards. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow, but if I can't, look for it on Monday. And we're really going to be hitting hard on some other things. There's one other movie I needed to watch from my long week of movies to watch, but because it's already late, I'm not going to post that. But I want to make sure I posted the others. And thank you for listening, and thank you for subscribing. And we will see you, if not tomorrow, Monday.